Today, we will handle Unit 2 Food Engineering. So, in this chapter, we will discuss on the principles of food engineering, mechanical operations such as mixing, filtration, clarifications, and dehydration system. What do you mean by mechanical separation? And various freezing systems adopted in the food industry. So, let's start off our chapter. So, first, what do you mean by food engineering? Food engineering means it is the application of engineering concept and principles to the conservation of raw foods into safer consumer products of the highest possible quality. So, through this food engineering process, we are implementing the engineering concept and principles for preserving the raw foods. For the conversion of the raw foods into the safer consumption by the people. In this particular field, the science and engineering principles are used to process the food preservation and storing of food in order to improve its quality, taste, smell, texture, and also to add value to the product. Now let's see what are the principles of food engineering. The first principle is food processing. So here, this processing, it deals with the different techniques and process to make some seasonal foods throughout the year, to make different flavored foods, different products from same raw foods. So during the season time, there is a surplus production of that particular food item. So we need to preserve it for long time use. So for that purpose, we are implementing the food processing techniques. For example, we get curd, ghee, lassi, kova, ice cream, and many other sweets from the milk by different processing techniques like freezing, homogenization, coagulation, heat coagulation, etc. Next point is by food engineering, we can add or remove nutrients as per our requirements. That is, we can change the food nutrients. So in the case of diabetic patients, actually for them, they need special food with less starch. So we can make this through the food engineering principles. And also we can one more the nutrients needed by children, infant, and pregnant. So that can also provided by the food engineering principle. So here we can say the food engineering plays key role. Now in food preservation, it is important to store food for future. So the characteristic of food preservation can be studied by food engineering. In food storage, here the storage structures, their design and grain characteristics, conditions for storage like cold storage, warehouses, and indigenous storage setups all comes under the food engineering. Now next is mechanical operation. So in mechanical operation here we are changing the raw materials for many process. So here under the mechanical operation, the various methods go through where mixing, filtration, clarification, dehydration system. So the first method is mixing. Mixing is a process in which at least two separate materials are taken and forced them to be randomly distributed through one another by some mechanical means. A mixture in which its components are present in a single phase is called homogeneous mixture. If the mixture components are present in different phases, then it is considered as a heterogeneous mixture. So mixing is we are just mixing two separate materials and it is randomly distributed by the mechanical means. So that is what we call the mixing. So mixture are two types, homogeneous and heterogeneous. So next is filtration. Filtration is a mechanical or physical operation that is used for the separation of solids from fluid by interposing a medium through which only the fluid can pass. After filtration, this filtrate is a transparent fluid free from insoluble solid, colloidal hazes, or insoluble liquid drops. So next is The term clarification, it is used when the solid present in the liquid is very small and they do not exceed 1% and filtrate is the required product. So next is dehydration. Dehydration is a process of we are applying heat for the removal of major content of moisture from the food which it normally present. So that is also done by the process called evaporation. So the main purpose of this dehydration is to extend the shelf life of food by the reduction in water activity. So this dehydration inhibit the microbial growth and enzymatic activity. But the processing temperature is usually insufficient to cause their inactivation. Therefore, any increase in moisture content during storage may result in the rapid spoilage. Drying causes a deterioration of both eating quality as well as the nutritional value of food. The design and the operation of dehydration equipment is aimed to minimize these changes. So next is mechanical separation. Mechanical separation in food processing include two main operations, that is removal of substances or material and their classification. Mechanical separation equipment is used extensively in food manufacturing, preservation or preparatory operation. Mechanical separation are based on the difference of density and the size or shape of the food particles or pieces. So this mechanical separation process involved the following methods like sedimentation, centrifugal separation, filtration, and sieving. So here the mechanical process were classified into these four categories. So we will see each one in detail. The first one is sedimentation. It is settling of matter to the bottom of a fluid so as to separate suspended solid from fluid. So here, this is the chamber for the sedimentation process. So the solid substances will be settled at the bottom of this apparatus, and the fluid will be separated through this outlet. Sedimentation is very often used in the food industry for separating dirt and debris from incoming raw material and dust or product particles from air streams. So second method is centrifugal separation. So here, the process, in this particular process in which two heterogeneous mixtures, we have seen what do you mean by the heterogeneous mixtures. The two heterogeneous mixtures of phases are separated from each other by the application of centrifugal force. So the phases may be solid, liquid or gas, and the basic principle governing is the density difference. So based on the density of the substances, the centrifugal separation can be done. Now, the third method is filtration. Filtration is a unit operation where separation of insoluble solid from a solid liquid suspension. So we are separating the solid which is not soluble from the solid liquid suspension. So that is done by the application of mechanical or gravity force through the porous membrane. So here the solids are retained on the porous. So in the picture you can see the brown colored shape, they are solids, so that will be retained in the porous and it will form a layer called the filter cake. The driving forces for the separation of two phases may be gravity force or mechanical force. Now the next method is sieving. So during the sieving, the sample is subjected to horizontal or vertical movement in accordance with the chosen method. So this causes a relative movement between the particles and the sieve. Depending on their size, the individual particles either pass through the sieve mesh or retain on the sieve surface. So the very fine particles will be enters into the sieve, and the comparatively large particles will be remain on the surface of the sieve. So sieve shakers are used for the mechanical sieving. So you can see a picture of apparatus used for the sieving purpose. Now these are some benefits of the mechanical separation. So mechanical separation helps to save time. It is a cost efficient method. It increases efficiency. It can be used for wide range of application. So moving to the next part, it's called food freezing. So we know the freezing is a method used for the food preservation. So it allows the preservation of taste, texture, and the nutritional value in food. And this process is a combination of the beneficial effects of low temperature at which microorganisms cannot grow. it reduces the cellular metabolic reaction. So through the this method, the decay doesn't happen on the food, and we can keep the food fresh. For preservation of food we can preserve this food for the longer period also. Now we are going to see the different types of freezers. So the first one is individual quick freezing. So this is the picture of the individual quick freezing equipment. The concept of IQF, that is individual quick freezing, involves exposure of individual pieces of product to a low temperature medium for a relatively short period of time. In some situations, the rate of freezing is increased by promoting more intimate contact between the product pieces and a cold refrigerant. In other situations, IQF is achieved by using very low temperature cryogenic refrigerants as a freezing medium. Here are the advantages and disadvantages of the IQF. The advantages include maintenance of food quality. It reduces the food loss. It reduces labor cost and manufacturing cost, logistics cost reduction. So next is disadvantages. Product surface is easy to frost. So there is a chance of the product surface, it will become easy to frost. The moisture inside the food is volatilized. So sometimes it may cause after a particular time, sometimes the food will become more dry. Now, these are the different types of IQF freezer. Actually, two types of IQF freezer is there. One is mechanical IQF freezer, another is cryogenic IQF freezer. So in the mechanical IQF freezer, it works on the principle of cold air circulation that flows from underneath the bed plate or transportation plate belt with the help of a fan. So that is the mechanical IQF freezer. In cryogenic IQF freezer, in this particular freezer, it immerses the product in a nitrogen liquid at very low temperature, and freezing is done here rapidly with a continuous moving the product to avoid block or a lump formation. So that is how the mechanism of the two freezers. Now next is fluidized bed freezer. So this is the picture of the fluidized bed freezer. So in this particular freezer, here the foods are placed on a mesh conveyor belt, and it is moved it through a freezing zone, which cold air is directed upward through mesh belt. So here a modification of air blast freezing has been done. High airflow velocity is about 2 to 5 minutes per second, and bed depth is 2 to 13 centimeter. And these both are determined by the food size and shape. So according to food size and shape, so these velocities and the other particulars will be changed. Now, what are the advantages? Higher heat transfer coefficient. So here the high heat transfer has been take place, and freezing time is very short, and the production rate is more, and the less dehydration of unpackaged food than the blast freezing. So this type of freezing is limited to the particulate food such as peas, corn, kernels, and diced carrots. Particulate food means that food ranging from powder to emulsion, then suspensions and pellets. So here the size distribution can affect the taste, appearance, and stability, other properties of the food. Now the disadvantages of these fluidized bed freezers are need for the product to be small enough. So the product which we need to keep this freezer should be small enough, which is small enough to be fluidized, and the some higher operating cost than the funnel or belt freezer. So when we compared with other freezers, the operating cost is also slight higher in this case. Now, next is cryogenic freezing. So here, liquid nitrogen or carbon dioxide is sprayed directly on the small food items such as soft fruit and prawns. Due to the liquid's extremely low temperature, and low temperature means minus 196 degrees Celsius to minus 78 degrees Celsius respectively. So here, due to this liquid extremely low temperature, freezing is almost instant. The nitrogen gas is removed by fans, and liquid carbon dioxide is used for the larger products. So here you can see the picture of the cryogenic freezer. Here the food is passed into the chamber like this. So from the upper part of the chamber, there is a liquid nitrogen is sprayed once the food reached in this position. So here, the whole process has been done at a very low temperature. So the freezing is almost instant. So that nitrogen gases will be removed by fans, which is inbuilt in this apparatus. Now, these are the advantages and disadvantages of cryogenic freezer. The advantages include it fast cooling rates, high productivity, reduction of food safety risk, low setup cost, low energy consumption during freezing or chilling, simple operation, compact equipment with low maintenance requirements. So these are the advantages of the this freezer. Now, the disadvantages include the operating cost of this freezer can be roughly 8 times higher than the mechanical refrigeration system. And to determine the relationship of each factor to control and configure the proper condition of the freezer is also highest quality. So these are some few disadvantages of this freezer. So that's all for today. Thank you.